This is Windows 11, Microsoft's latest Windows operating system. So today I'm going to show you some general features that we're going to use in our daily lives with Windows 11, and we're also going to compare that to Windows 10. Okay, so now this Windows 11 is running on a 12-year-old PC. This PC has been installed with an Intel Core i7 first generation processor. This has a 10GB DDR3 RAM, an NVIDIA card 970M with 6GB graphics memory, and a 500GB 7200 RPM hard drive. Okay, now first, if you want to install Windows 11 on a 5-year-old PC or more than 5-year-old PC, make sure you have an 8GB RAM or more than 8GB RAM. At best, you can also upgrade your hard disk to a solid-state drive. Now, why am I saying it? Is because you get faster load times, you get good and smoother experience with Windows 11. If you want to experience Windows 11 on a hard drive, you're gonna feel Windows 11 is a little laggy. Okay, it's gonna take some time to load, it's gonna take some time to load apps. Okay, sometimes your menu is gonna stuck and then it's gonna load. So that would be much easier with a solid state drive. So I suggest you to get a solid state drive in place of a hard drive and more than 8GB RAM or 8GB RAM for your PC. The processor, Core 2 Duo, Core i3, 5 or 7 will just do fine. Okay, so the most important standout feature of Windows 11 is the taskbar. In Windows 10, it used to be on the left, but in Windows 11, it's all in the center. Okay. Now, this taskbar can't be moved to left, right, up or down in Windows 11. Okay, it is fixed at the bottom. Like in Windows 10, you could move this to left, right, up and down on the screen. In Windows 11, it is all at the bottom. Okay, now next is, when you used to click in Windows 10, you used to get many options. Okay, but in Windows 11 you only get one option, which is taskbar setting. So when you open this, it goes into the personalization menu, taskbar. So here Microsoft has set some important features embedded in the taskbar. Okay, like search, you have task view, widgets and chat. Now search is here, task view is here, widgets are here and chat is here. Okay, so you can only turn off and on each one by one. Okay, you cannot just right click and remove or delete like we do in Windows 10. Okay, so you have on and off feature for these 4 icons. Okay, now this chat here you see is Microsoft Teams. Okay, Microsoft has embedded Microsoft Teams in Windows 11. So like in my Windows 10, where you used to download and install Microsoft Teams separately, in Windows 11 you not need to. You just log in by your Microsoft account and you can log in to Windows Microsoft Teams easily. Okay, now next is the taskbar corner icons. Now in taskbar corner icons, the most important one is the touch keyboard. If you want a touch keyboard, you just choose open, it's going to come up here, you just click it and it's going to pop up and you can use the touch keyboard. Okay, pen, if you are using pen, you can just attach a pen and you can turn this on and you can have an icon here which you can use with your pen. Okay, virtual touchpad is same as your Windows 10, you just turn this on, you can have virtual touchpad icon here, and you can use that as a virtual touchpad. Okay, now taskbar corner overflow are the icons that appear in the notification area. So suppose if I have Alienware AlienFX controller, if I turn this on, you can see that appearing here. If I turn that off, it goes away. Okay, so it's appearing in the overflow of the notification area. However, if you want that in the notification area, you just turn this on. Okay, so here it comes. When you turn that off, it goes away. Same as for VLC, you just turn this on. So when you use VLC, it's gonna come up here. So if you turn that off, it's not gonna appear. Okay. Taskbar behaviors. Here is it, the taskbar alignment. Okay, in Windows 11 it is in the center. Now if you want that to the old position which is left, you can also do that. Okay, but for a change, let's keep it in the center. Okay, now automatically hide the taskbar. It is same as Windows 10. You just use that to hide the taskbar. You uncheck it to bring it back. Okay, now this one, select the far corner of the taskbar to show the desktop. Now when it is checked and you click, okay, far corner of the desktop, you see the desktop. So when you uncheck this and you click, it's not going to take you to the desktop. So make sure that it is checked. Okay, now this is the settings in the taskbar. Okay, now the most important thing. Okay, now suppose I have a VLC or a Word file or an Excel file. So suppose if I open VLC, okay, and I just minimize it, you can see the VLC in the taskbar now. In Windows 10, what we used to do is we used to directly drag and drop a file into the app in the taskbar. Well, in Windows 11 you can't do that. Okay, so suppose if I have a song here, a VLC file, and if I try to drag and drop that into VLC, I can't do that. Similarly, for a Word file, Excel file, or any other file, if you want to do that to a compatibility app, it will not do. However, if you have VLC open and if I drag and drop this file into VLC, it's gonna play. Okay, so remember to directly drop your file in the app when it's open in the desktop. Do not try to drag and drop your file in the taskbar in the app. It's not going to work. Okay. The next feature of Windows 11 is the Windows Snap Layout. Now what exactly it does is it rearranges all the open windows on your desktop to the layout that you choose. It can be 1, 2 or 3 layouts depending upon the layout that you choose. So suppose if I have this Chrome here open on the desktop and you want another window to be arranged to the layout that you choose, what you should do is in your open app, okay, and in the title bar you have a minimize button and a resize button. So when you put your mouse pointer on the resize button, you're gonna see these predefined layouts. So remember, the layout that you choose is gonna shift your currently active app on that side. Okay, so suppose I choose this and it's gonna shift my active open window to the left because I chose left. Now on the right, you have to choose which app you want to be on the right. Okay, so here goes. So here you see it shifted on the right. So this is how Windows Snap works. So choose your layout and you can snap your windows as per your requirement. The next important feature of Windows 11 is the context menu. Now in Windows 10, what you used to do is when you right click in Windows 10, you used to get a standard context menu. But in Windows 11, you get one more option of show more options. Okay, so when you choose that, you get the standard context menu that you used to get in Windows 10. Okay, so I'll show you again. This is the standard context menu of Windows 10, but in Windows 11 you get this type of context menu. Okay, so suppose I have these icons on the desktop and if I want to remove them all at once, you just go to view and choose show desktop icons. So now it is click, you just click that again and it's going to disappear. So you have a clean desktop of your own. So if you want to take it back, you just go back and choose show desktop icon. It's all going to come here. Okay, another point is when you used to right click on the folder, okay, you used to get cut, copy, paste in the context menu, but in Windows 11 you get icons of cut, copy, rename, paste and delete at the top. Okay, and you get the other options like open, pin to quick access, pin to start properties in the context menu. However, if you choose more options, you're going to see the old context menu that you used to see in Windows 10. Okay, so this is one of the major differences. Okay, next in Windows 11, what you should know is the Windows Explorer. Now in Windows 11, you can see the icons in Windows 11 File Explorer are more colorful than Windows 10. Okay, suppose you have a music folder which has a musical note assigned to it, videos, there is a play button assigned to it, downloads has a download symbol assigned to it, and they are more colorful than in Windows 10. Also, at the top where you used to see file, edit, view and so on in Windows 10, you get options like new, cut, rename or paste and so on at the top. Also, when you open any drive to access your files and folders and you choose a folder and you right click, you can also see that you get cut, you get copy, you get paste, you get rename and you get delete. Okay, now I don't know why Windows has been changed like that. There was no necessary changes required, but they have done like that. And also if you want the old standard context menu, you can also use show more icons and you can see the old standard context menu for your folder. Okay, so suppose if you want to hide a folder, what you do is you go here, choose properties and you choose hidden. Okay, so this folder is now hidden. Okay, so now how do you get that folder unhidden? So what you do is you go here, you choose show and you choose hidden items. So you see your hidden folder here. So in Windows 10, what you used to do is in the view tab, you used to check and uncheck hidden items. But in Windows 11, it is here in the view, show, and you have hidden items. Okay, it's not at all available like a ribbon in Windows 11. Okay. Okay, now in Windows 11 you get a new start menu. Okay, like in Windows 10 you used to get a regular start menu. In Windows 11 they have changed a little. Okay, now what you do is when you click start menu, you get icons that are already pinned to your start menu, and you also get icons and files or apps which are regularly used by you in the recommended section. Okay, now if you choose all apps here, you get the standard start menu you used to get in Windows 10. Okay, and when you press it back, you're gonna go back to the new style start menu. Similarly for the recommended part, suppose if you click more, you're gonna go and see the recently apps that you have used in your Windows 11, and when you click back, it's going to switch to the new style start menu. Okay, at the bottom is your account or administrator name, and to the right you have power options like sleep, shutdown and restart. Okay, now the important thing to know here is, like in Windows 10, okay, when you used to select and drag and drop the icon in Windows 10, it used to do, but in Windows 11 you cannot do that. Okay, so suppose I have mail, okay, or I have settings or Microsoft Store, and I try to drag and drop that to the taskbar. In Windows 11 you cannot do that. However, if you choose the same, this time it's going to open. But if you want to attach this to the taskbar, what you have to do here is right click on the icon and choose pin to taskbar. So when I click pin to taskbar, you're gonna see that come next to the OBS icon. So here it is, I click and there it comes. So here you cannot drag and drop icons and attach it to the taskbar. You have to right click and choose pin or unpin to the taskbar. The next thing in Windows 11 is the power and sleep settings, which we regularly used in everyday life. Now in Windows 11, the power and sleep settings has been changed a little. So in Windows 10, when you used to right click on power and sleep settings, you used to get one more option, which was Windows Mobility Center. So this time around in Windows 11, it has been removed. Now it is completely not gone from Windows 11. It's just an option which is missing here. So when you click on power and sleep settings, you get a different layout than Windows 10. So here you can see the battery and the battery levels and how did you use battery per hour, as you can see here. If you want the detailed info, you can click here as well. Now in Windows 10, you used to get combo boxes to change settings of your battery and performance. But in Windows 11, it has changed. So the first option is screen and sleep. So here you can choose your settings as per your requirement. So suppose on battery power, turn off my screen after this much minutes, when plugged in this much minutes. On the battery power, turn my device on sleep, never, or you choose as per your requirement about minutes and hours. You can do that from here. Okay, so it's more a clean layout, but it would be better if they allow us to choose directly from here instead of clicking that and choosing that one by one. Okay, the next one is the power mode. Okay, so in Windows 11 you get balance, best performance and best power efficiency. In Windows 10 you used to get power saving, balanced and prefer maximum performance. So this one has been changed. Okay, battery saver is same as Windows 10. You choose when do you turn on the battery saver automatically, at what percentage of your battery. You can do that from here. Lower screen brightness stays at is. Okay, and here you can see the battery usage in the last 24 hours, or you can see the last 7 days battery as well. If you want to search for an app which has if you want to search for an app which you want to see how much battery it has used, you can do that by typing your app name here, and you can have a look at it. So this is power and sleep settings in the notification. Now Windows Mobility Center has not been removed in Windows 11. It is here. So when you go in the start menu or go in search, you just type Windows Mobility Center. So you can see that it appears here in the search or the start menu. So when you click it, it's going to open. Okay, and here you can see the old options: balanced, power saver and high performance. You can also see the brightness. You can also see mute, just like you used to do in Windows 10. Okay, you can also open Windows Mobility Center by right-clicking mouse button on the start menu, and you can see Mobility Center here. So if you choose that, it opens Windows Mobility Center. Okay, next is the display settings. So when you right click on the desktop and you go in display settings, you get a layout something like that. Okay, so the first one is the brightness, where you can use to increase or decrease the brightness. You have a night light. If you're looking at the screen at night, you can choose the night light on and off, which is going to make it more warmer. Okay, your screen display gets more warmer at night. Okay, next is the HDR. If your monitor supports high dynamic range, you can choose HDR. Okay, to view your colors in a high dynamic range. Next is the scale. the scale, what it does is going to zoom in and your zoom out your fonts and display on the monitor. So suppose I choose 125, it zooms in and makes it big. Suppose if I choose 100, it's going to reduce the size of the text and the layout of the Windows 11. Okay, so suppose if I choose 150, it's going to make it even more bigger. So you can see that it has become more than 100%. So you can choose the standard layout as per your requirement. Okay, so I'll better keep it at 100, which looks great. The next one is the screen resolution. If you want to change the screen resolution, you can do that by here. Next one is the display orientation, portrait landscape or flipped, or portrait landscape flipped. You choose as per your requirement. Multiple displays, if you have, you can choose multiple displays. Now this part has an interesting feature. Okay, now by default you see that these two icons are checked. Remember, Windows location based on monitor connection, minimize Windows when the monitor is disconnected. Okay, so what these two options does is, suppose if you disconnect the external monitor and you reconnect, okay, in Windows 10 what used to happen is the Windows locations, when you reconnect the external monitor, does not go back to the original position, but in Windows 11 it's going to do that. Okay, and suppose if you choose this one, minimize Windows when a monitor is disconnected, when you remove the cable from your external monitor, it's going to minimize all windows in your laptop display or your main monitor display. Okay, so these options are really important for your Windows 11. So I recommend you to choose at least first one, which is very important. Okay. Okay, the next one is personalization. Now in Windows 11 you get 6 themes. Okay, now default is the first one selected, as you can see. Now if you choose, the next one is going to shift to a darker theme. Okay, and accordingly the Windows layout also changes, the Windows sounds also changes. Now if you had noticed, when you click settings, you used to get a white background. Okay, but in Windows theme settings, when you choose, let's say settings now, you get a darker background. Okay, so I'll show you again. If this is my Windows theme here, so I choose the normal one, okay, or choose a lighter one, it comes back. I close this, and when I open it, it's going to see a white background. Okay, so accordingly the Windows layout, the Windows sounds also changes. Okay, in the color part you can see that you have also color defined for your accent. So suppose if you choose manual and you choose red, okay, here, and you go to any folder, let's say if I choose Windows Explorer, and no, this one will not show. Suppose if I go to a browser, you can see at the top you get a red ribbon. Okay, similarly if you choose blue, you're gonna see a blue ribbon at the top. Okay, so this is how you can change the colors in Windows 11. Okay, transparency effects, if you want to keep it open, you can keep it open. So here is your light mode. If you choose light, you can choose light, you can choose dark. Okay, so it's going to shift the theme to a darker one. Okay, so you can call it a little shortcut. So this one has been changed to a darker one. Okay, so this is now shifted back to the lighter one. Rest all is same here. So next one is the lock screen. So in the lock screen you get few options like personalize your lock screen. So right now it is Windows Spotlight, so same as Windows 10 you get picture, you get a slideshow option. So suppose you choose picture, you can choose your own picture, or you can browse your own photograph, and you can also assign a wallpaper or your own photograph here, or you can choose a slideshow. You can choose a number of pictures from your folder and put that as your slideshow. Okay, so you can choose as many photos as you want, and you can use that on the lock screen. You can also have options like include camera roll folders from this PC and OneDrive, only use pictures that fit my screen, and many more. Okay, now in Windows lock screen status you can also choose options like weather, mail, or calendar. Okay, but you can also choose one, or you can also choose none. So it depends on you what you choose. Also, you can choose to turn off screen after the slideshow has played for 1 hour, 30 minutes, or 3 hours, or you can choose don't turn off. Okay, any others? No, this one is the screen timeout. If you want to choose timeout, same as power and sleep settings. Now here is the start menu. So here is the personalization of start menu. So suppose if you want to show recently added apps, you can choose on for that. So if I choose none, show most used apps off, recently opened items in start jump list off. So when you click start menu here, you're not going to see them. Okay, you can also see only pinned icons in the start menu. So if I choose recently apps and you choose this, you can see that it is now showing recently opened apps, or the recently opened files or apps that you have used recently. Okay, taskbar is same as we have seen just now. So these are the general settings of your Windows 11. Okay, another thing is in Windows 11, when you go to the Wi-Fi options, okay, you get a newly redesigned Wi-Fi icon. So you get the first one is your Wi-Fi, the next is your airplane, the third one is the battery saver. Okay, so in Windows 10 you use these three options at the bottom. Now these three things have been shifted at the top. Okay, you can also have night light, focus assist, and accessibility here. So if you press focus assist, you choose priority only, alarms only, and focus assist. Airplane mode will turn on airplane mode off, and it will turn off Wi-Fi off. So here you can also choose brightness, you can choose your volumes up and down. Okay, also if you want to add some more icons, you can do that, and you can also remove if you like to do it. Suppose if you want to add, let's say, keyboard layout, you can do that also, and you choose done, and you have a clear keyboard layout here. So it is more customizable now. I'll just do that again. I'll just go here and remove it. I just press it done, and it is now removed. Okay, so now you can able to customize network and internet settings in the notification area. So as per your requirement, add or remove any icons from network and internet settings. Now another visual difference of Windows 11 than to Windows 10 is, if you remember in Windows 10 there was an option to never combine taskbar buttons in Windows 10. Okay, Now in Windows 11, that option of never combine taskbar buttons has been removed. Okay, so you are not able to never combine taskbar buttons in Windows 11. It will be always combined. Okay, so suppose if you put your mouse pointer over a browser or an app, you're gonna see a small display or preview just above the taskbar. So keep in mind that never combine taskbar buttons in Windows 11 has been removed. It may come in the future by a Windows update, so we'll see that. Now the next feature of Windows 11 is the task view. Now task view is already added to the taskbar. So this one is the task view. If you want to turn it off, you just go into the taskbar settings. You can see in the taskbar items you have a task view. You can turn on or off. Okay. Now what exactly it does is it creates more than one desktop for your tasks. It is not at all a virtual desktop. Okay, so suppose you have calculator, you have calendar, and third, let's say a PDF. Okay, so what you can do is you can assign each app according to your requirements. So suppose you have 3 apps open and you want to add these 3 apps one desktop as your choice. So what you do is you have one desktop already here, which is your current desktop. You click this twice, so you have 3 desktops now. Okay, so now what you can do is you have here these 3 apps open. So what you do is you just click task view and you assign the apps to your desktop. So suppose I want PDF in the desktop 3, you can do you want to assign calendar to the desktop 2. CalC will be already assigned to desktop 1. So when you click CalC, you can see here that I'm able to work on the calculator. Next, desktop 2. If you want to work on the calendar, you can work on desktop 2. And third, if you want to work on the Adobe PDF, you can work on desktop 3. Okay, so here you can do your work as per your choice. Also, if you want to move between desktop, you can use Control, Windows key and left or right arrow according to your choice. So suppose I'm now in the desktop 3, so if I choose back arrow, I go to 2, I press again, I come to 1, then again I press the right arrow to go into second and again onto third. Okay, what you can also do with these is you can also rename your desktop. So suppose if I want to rename that as calculation, you can do that. Okay, so this is now your calculations, second your weather or calendar, or third is your PDF. So according to your need, you can also rename the desktop. What you can also do is you can set individual backgrounds for all 3 desktops as well. Okay, and when you are done, you can just click this red cross at the top of each desktop to close it. So suppose if I don't want it, I just close it, and your primary desktop will stay open, and then you can close all these. You can also close the apps in your desktop 2 and 3 directly. Okay, now next to the task view is the widgets. Okay, this is also available in the taskbar settings. You can go to the taskbar setting personalization and you can see widgets right here. You can turn it off or on. Now widgets display information like weather, news, sports. Okay, but what you can't do here is you cannot customize widgets of your own. Okay, of course there are widgets to add, but these are predefined widgets. So you cannot any widgets of your own if you like to do. You can just choose any one of these only. So this is task view and widgets in Windows 11. So now for driver side, if you don't have Windows 11 drivers for your PC, suppose it's more than 5-year-old PC or 10-year-old PC or 20-year-old PC, you don't have Windows 11 drivers, you no need to worry. Windows 11, when it installs, it will take the default drivers, but still if you insist and you want to install Windows 11 drivers and you are unable to find it, you can still try and install Windows 10 drivers. Okay, it's same like in Windows 10 you can install Windows 8 drivers, okay, compatible with some PCs. Same is here. So you can also go ahead and install Windows 10 drivers on Windows 11 PC. Now for logins, you can still use a local administrator account, or you can log in by Microsoft account to experience Microsoft Store and other important features of Windows 11. So yes, you can still log in by a local administrator account, and later you can switch it back to Microsoft account. Okay. Now the big question is whether you should upgrade your Windows 10 PC to a Windows 11 PC. And my simple answer is yes. Please upgrade. Okay. Why am I saying that? Is because in the coming months, Microsoft is going to shut down support for Windows 10, just like they did it on Windows 7 when they launched Windows 10. So my suggestion would be upgrade to Windows 11 as soon as possible. Download illegal copies, activate your Windows, and keep updating Windows. Do not pause your updates, keep updating Windows 11 for a smoother experience. Okay, if you get a free upgrade, that's great, but if you buy a legal copy, install it, activate it, and keep updating Windows. Above all, if you have a PC which is more than 5 years old or less than 5 years old with a hard disk, I suggest you get an SSD straight away. Okay, get an SSD, install it, and enjoy Windows 11. You'll see the performance is much more better on an SSD than an HDD. Also, if you have a 8 GB RAM, okay, make it 12 or 16. 16 would be great, 12 would be good. Processor nowadays is always more than 1 GHz, 64-bit, so there is no problem there. But make sure you have sufficient RAM and, most important, SSD. Okay. So these were my important features of Windows 11 and comparison that to the Windows 10. So make sure you comment, click like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Goodbye.